Social media is probably making you dumber than you should be. Let me explain. I'm going to give you two reasons as to why that is and then what you can do about it. Sound good? Part 1. Synthetic realities. We all have basic biological needs. The need to recreate, the need to eat, the need for security, the need for connection, and the need to relax. All these basic human needs have synthetic alternatives. To recreate, think pornography. To eat, think junk food, fast food, UPF. The need to relax, think drugs, weed, crack, coke, ket, alcohol, tobacco, or nicotine, whatever you want to call it. For security, I'm talking from a financial standpoint, so I'm thinking along the lines of gambling, all the different methods, what that could take on. And then for connection, think social media. The commonality of all these activities is that they disrupt the neurochemistry in the brain. Now, I'm not a scientist, but what I do know is how we as a species act towards dopamine maximizing activities, which is in such a way which produces insidious, damaging effects on our psyche. Why, you might be asking? One word: neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is a process in which parts of your brain adjust and adapt to cope with stimulus it constantly receives. Mouthful. So basically put, every time you consume social media, parts of your brain change in ways which cause you to become dependent on the response it's receiving, because your brain is confused. It thinks it's having its basic human needs met. And to add to this, if you have an addictive personality like me, it's even more fatal because addiction and dependency disrupt day-to-day functions in ways which, if I was to go into detail, would just make this video too long. Just remember, social media is designed to be indulged. Addiction, simply put, is a fundamental feeling of discomfort that you seek to patch through sources outside of yourself. If I could only X, Y, Z, everything would be okay. Smoke that, sniff that, drink that, sleep with that, indulge in that, the list continues. What's the remedy, you might be thinking? Very simply put, recreate, find a mate, eat whole foods, think kale, think cruciferous greens, kale, Brussels, spinach, asparagus, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, apples, pears, bananas, dates, figs, chicken, or if you're vegetarian, whatever, right? Whole foods, not McDonald's, not triple cheeseburgers with ingredients you can't pronounce or you've never heard of or you can't buy in a shop or you've never had in your house. Okay? Try to limit the UPF because, like I said, all these synthetic versions of reality are designed to be indulged. So for you to just quit cold turkey and never go about it again, for me to suggest that would be unreasonable. So just entertain this elevated level of awareness towards this subject and do what you can, okay? Relax. There's a couple for this one. You can meditate, shower, go on a walk, listen to music, hang out with friends. Security, like I said, from a financial standpoint, you can learn about investing, short-term investing, long-term investing, trading, day trading, swing trading, learn about different stock accounts, learn about different investing accounts, ISAs, learn about interest rates, you know? Pick a career path as another one. You can do electrician, plumber, engineer, doctor, lawyer. And I know the first few are basically trades, but whatever you want to call it, right? Just think long term rather than gambling, rather than thinking some quick fix out there. And if I could only get it, scoring around, wasting time, just pick something that makes sense, okay? Gambling doesn't make no sense. If it made sense, everybody would just be billionaires because they've just learned how to gamble and become a billionaire. Lottery tickets as well. I'm not even going to get into that one, but come on. Connection, hang out with friends, hang out with your partner, hang out with family, hang out with friends and family, hang out with your partner, friends and family, hang out with your partner and your friends, hang out with your partner and your family. Now I can feel the objections just ringing in the back of my mind already. It's like intuitively I can pick them up, okay? I understand if you don't have friends, if you don't have a partner, meet friends, meet partner. Now if you're introverted, I get it. What I'm trying to suggest here is just to have that elevated awareness towards this matter, okay? There is no quick fix. Awareness is the key, okay? The key is awareness, it's not fixes. Change your mindset from, I want to increase my level of awareness, not that there's a hack out there that people are hiding from you. There isn't, trust me, okay? You just need to increase your level of awareness. This is doing that. I don't expect you to go out and meet friends if you've never had friends before, okay? What I'm trying to do here is just answer questions that you have in your mind. Because for years when I was younger, I remember when I was 17, I had so many questions and I had no answers. What I'm trying to do here is give you answers to questions that you have in your mind, different ideas and just different. So awareness and having questions answered, that's the key to life, okay? There's no hacks, okay? Let's be honest. Quitting social media for good in this day and age probably isn't possible. I actually quit myself for a good 2 years. I'm talking nothing, no social medias whatsoever. Zilch, Zippo, nada, except YouTube. Okay, YouTube was my exception, and I did kind of binge on it at times, but for the most part, I was just working and sleeping. Nothing much in between. The funny thing is, when I came back, it's like I never left. Old habits kicked in and muscle memory aided the process. But what I do know helps is just having an elevated level of awareness when it comes to social media and what the effects actually are. That's what I'm trying to show in this video. Just trying to give you an elevated level of awareness so you can just navigate the whole field of social media with just a high level of mindfulness, which is going to prevent you from indulging. What I do recommend though, however, is that you abstain from it completely at least once. Like, you can't go wrong, you know? You can't go wrong. And then at least you've got experience from both sides. You've got that practical experience knowledge and you've got that theoretical knowledge. Because theoretical knowledge without practice is nothing. Faith without works is dead. You can't do, like, without the actual practice and in-field experience, all of this will be useless. All of this will render useless. Okay? And for all the voices in the wilderness that are screaming, that are crying, I've already done it, I don't need to do it, from your holier than thou state of mind, this is your sign to do it again. This is your sign to abstain from social media again. Just take 7 days. Get something like a K-Safe. This cost me about £60. You can get a cheap one for maybe a £5. I got this from Amazon. This is like the branded version. This is like the original of this whole lockbox idea, which you can just, this is like the original idea of that. Get one of these, or like I said, get a cheaper version. Just lock your phone in there. You can crank it up to like 9 days. Put your phone in there and just relax and let your brain reset. The good thing about neuroplasticity is we always have it. We have neuroplasticity in our brains throughout our life. So even an 80-year-old can reprogram his brain. It's going to be a lot harder, okay? But even an 80-year-old has enough neuroplasticity to be able to rewire their brain. Part 2. How social media is making you less smarter. Deep versus shallow learning. Shallow learning is knowing something on a superficial level. Like, I can pump my tires on my car up, but am I a mechanic? This is just one example of hundreds of ideas of shallow learning, okay? Versus deep learning, which is knowing something with such a level of depth, even the thought of that thing inspires an event of thoughts back of it. For example, driving. Even saying that, the idea of clutch control, neutral, the gear stick, reversing, the fact I failed my test twice before I passed, the fact it took me 2 years to learn how to drive, the fact I've had over 50 hours of lessons, the fact my car insurance cost over £2,500 the first year, getting petrol every week, doing grocery shops, commuting to work, motorway, dual carriageway, stop signs, give way signs, mukbangs, speed limits, speeding ticket, high speed chases, my dream car, overtaking people. You get the point. Now, let's take a look at how we learn how to pump our tires versus learn how to drive. I learned how to pump the tires on my car up through YouTube, social media. One YouTube video, learnt it, bam, done. Itch scratched. Versus driving, think 2-hour lessons twice a week, on and off for 2 years. Completely uninterrupted with my undivided attention and focus, so I could build those deep circuits in my brain for driving. Let's say deep learning is like, to use computers as an example, having a folder inside a folder inside a multitude of folders, and it's like a hierarchical set of folders. And each folder, there's loads of different files, and each of these files have layers of information. That's what deep learning is. So it's like folders on folders on folders on files, versus shallow learning, which would be maybe one document, one file with maybe a couple of lines. You get the difference. This is why watching a video like this probably won't do anything for you. After all, this isn't the first video with a title like this you've watched, is it? Be honest. Or maybe I'm wrong. Like, I'm able to give you the very basic high-level concepts of what I'm trying to display here, but all the context that you need to really internalize this, like, I'm not able to articulate it in a video, and it would take me 10 hours. And then, especially if you're right brain, if you're left brain, you might be able to do with this information and go about your day. But if you're right brain like me, you need depth when it comes to learning. You need to hear something from 50 different angles so you can target the different sides of your brain and really emotionally understand it. Like, I'm an emotional learner. I'm not like a concept engineer type learner. Like, it takes repetition for me. That's me being right brain. Like, I'm completely right brain. So now, as you see, the more shallow approach to learning in life, the lower, more animal instinct version of you approach to life. I call mine Nodge. Two sides of myself, higher self, lower self. Nodge is basically John backwards. My nickname is John. Every time I participate in animal instinct, emotionally driven activities, that's Nodge taking over, and every time I do that, I'm going backwards. There's the deep approach to learning in life, the higher version of yourself. I call mine Johnny. I've always liked that nickname. That would look something along the lines of, on this topic, for example, reading a book like The Shallows by Nicholas Carr or Deep Work by Cal Newport. You're not going to learn what you need to learn from YouTube. Definitely not Instagram or TikTok, it's not going to happen, okay? You're not going to learn it deep enough. You're not going to be able to do anything with that information, okay? It's just not how it works. It's not how your brain works. You can't override biology, okay? It's not going to work. So the difference between these two approaches to life is night and day. The reason why we are different to animals is because we have self-awareness, okay? Doing the same thing over and over again is insanity. That definition is already a thing, okay? Don't do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. You need to take a more deep approach to life. And this is your sign to stop social media for a few days. That's your first step to taking a more deep approach to life, okay? The difference is night and day. What next for you? That's up to you. Your choice. Your life, your rules, your philosophy, your decisions, okay? You do whatever you want to do. Whether that be go to the next video like this or abstain from social media and start your deep learning path. Whatever you choose to do, I assume it will be in your best interest.